So I'm going to be doing a bit of a different vlog today. I normally obviously film certain events and stuff, but in celebration of my cheek piercing vlogs getting to 3,000 views, I am going to do a bit of a story time with my cheek piercings. Just a disclaimer, I am not a piercer, I'm not qualified in piercing. This is just my experience and this is the thing that happened to me. Everyone has to listen to their piercer. If they need any piercing advice, go to your piercer. They are the best people to talk to. If obviously you're having a bad reaction or you just want to get some advice, that's where to go. So I decided to get my cheeks pierced. It was a few months ago now, and I just kind of, I don't know, with me, I just kind of like wake up and I'm like, right, I know what I'm gonna do today. So I just thought to myself, why not? So we went, me and Courtney went into town to Blue Banana. I've been going to Blue Banana for years and years just to have a casual shop and to get piercings, and I just feel comfortable there, so that's where I went. I believe it was about £50, I'm not too sure, I'll pop it up. And then when we walked in, everyone was really lovely, and I said that I wanted what I want, and normally they just get you to fill out a form and then you go back and sit in the waiting area in Bristol. But this occasion, the piercer that was allocated for the day, she hadn't been trained to do the sort of like extreme piercing, so obviously she was qualified to do ears, nose, etc, but probably not any sort of like genitalia or cheek. So the lady said to me, the piercer that is qualified to do those kind of piercings kind of takes it on a discretion basis, where, you know, she kind of like, she may not do it, she may do it, just because what I found out was cheek piercings can be a bit difficult. Now, they don't properly heal, as what I've been told. I hadn't really looked into it too much before I got the piercings. I mean, I've seen people with them before and I wanted to do it. I mean, my body's quite lucky with piercings. I follow the instructions, I kind of clean them every day, and I've had about 14 at one point, and now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 now. So I am quite familiar with what piercings do, how they work. You know, I'm pretty experienced, I know what I'm doing. I know I'm happy in my decision to go for it, and I am happy to sort of deal with the scars after. Like, I've got this one here from when I had that piercing, but that's okay, like, I don't mind that, it's my decision, so that I have to deal with the consequences. So then the lady said that she might not do it. So in that case, I was like, okay, well, I've got adrenaline in me today, I'm just going to Google it. So I Googled piercing places in Bristol, and then it came up with pierced up, body piercing and tattoos. And I'm familiar with this place because my mum used to go there when she was, when she was getting piercings and stuff when we were younger. So yeah, we went there, and we trekked all the way up the Christmas steps. It was quite a nice walk, and then when we went in, I met with Ruby, and she was lovely. I felt comfortable in there straight away. And then she just let me fill out the form. I showed her some ID and we were good to go, which was good, because I find that it's the anticipation of piercings that I hate. I want to get them and I love them when I have them. It's just kind of when you sat there, again with the tattoo, you kind of sat there and it's just that initial, just before it happens, and of course, you know, when it happens it's the pain, but initially it's kind of like the anticipation of it. When we went into the room, and lovely little space they've got there, and then she marked them out, and we spent about 5 to 10 minutes sort of dotting them and then having a look in the mirror. She made sure I was completely comfortable, she made sure they were completely even, and she made sure I was happy with them, and of course I wanted to take that time to make sure I was happy with them. and obviously Courtney was sort of like giving her opinion. You know, she was like, maybe the left one looks a bit too low, and so yeah, we just had about 3 or 4 tries, and then on the last try obviously we were happy to go for the piercing. So I sat down, I held Courtney's hand, because although I've had about 14 plus piercings at the, you know, I am still a bit squeamish, and of course I don't like the pain. You know, some people do, but it's just needle through skin, of course it's gonna hurt. So yeah, and then the first one was, I believe the first one was this one, and then she got the clamp and then she pierced it through from the outside to the in, and then obviously when that's done they kind of like get the bar even, and then they sort of like thread that through so it goes in straight away, and then it gets tightened. So the kind of bar I had, what initially was this kind of bar where it was a ball each side. Obviously it wasn't this long, but it wasn't far from it because obviously they're swell bars, and that kind of pain was, ooh, I'd say about a 5 out of 10. I think I just had so much adrenaline in me that I was like kind of ready to go, and I didn't really sort of, I just, yeah, the pain was numbed because I had so much adrenaline in me, I think. And then she obviously dealt with that, cleaned the blood up, and then just kind of like patted it, and then we moved on to this side. She clamped it. She was sort of like, you know, you ready? And I was like, yeah. And then it went through, and that pain was so bad. The second one was so bad. She didn't do anything differently, it's just my body. I was like, ow, I can feel everything now, but it was totally worth it. Yeah, she did the same thing. She threaded it through, and then she tightened the balls up. So what I didn't know after was it was a case of stages. So once you have the swell bars in, obviously you leave them for a few weeks while the swelling, like your cheek's gonna swell, so it accommodates to the room of your cheek. And then a few weeks later she said feel free to pop in, and then what she can do, she can just change the bars down the size, so then they kind of look a lot more, you know, nice on your face. You don't want them hanging out. And then yeah, I went again back a few weeks later, just got them changed down a bit so it's closer to my cheek, because by this time I had a lot of excess because obviously it healed and the swelling had gone down. And then I think I went another time again a few weeks later just to get the bars changed down again. She was saying how clean they were. I mean, she said that they're always going to be a bit pussy, because not pussy, but they're always going to have a bit of like fluid in them that dries, just because they are an unusual piercing. They are on your cheeks, and it's not as if it's just getting sort of like your nose done. And I think I went the 3rd time. It was either the 3rd or the 4th time that I've got the bars that I do in today. It did take me a few weeks, and sometimes my obviously when you get them changed over you're kind of fiddling with it, so they did kind of like the day after they did kind of swell up a bit, but they were good. They just went down again. I was quite lucky with it. I've got these bars in now where they are really close to my skin. When I smile you can see that it just kind of goes in. They're really comfortable. I hardly feel them. On the inside they are flat at the back, and like I mentioned, really comfortable. Don't notice them at all. When I had the swell bars in and I used to be eating, obviously it was kind of this in my way in my cheek, so it did kind of, I did bite down on it a few times, so I'd say watch out for that if you're going to get it done. But it's just a case of taking it easy, keeping it clean, and then yeah, eventually get to this point, and I think they're really cute. I love them. I definitely would have never not done them, but that's how I am. I'm really happy with them, and they have, in the meantime, through having the really small bars, they have kind of swelled up a bit, but that's out of no one's fault. It's just obviously it's just skin reacting to like needles and things in them, which is completely understandable. They've got to this point. I love them. Looking at the future, I am happy with them. I'm not going to take them out. I know a lot of people on YouTube, well, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos of people sort of taking them out and just seeing the process of them healing, and hopefully they're left with the dimples. Of course I hope to as well. Yeah, I never had dimples before, so these kind of put them in. So yeah, I'm really happy with them. yeah, any questions obviously just let me know below, and I am more than happy to answer them. Like I said before, not a qualified piercer, and you know, if you do need any professional advice, please go speak to a local piercer, or one that you're comfortable with, because as much as I have had a lot of piercings and I'm comfortable with them and my body's quite good in terms of healing, you know, I'm not a professional, and yeah, everybody's different. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Please give this video a like if you are liking this kind of thing from me. Like I mentioned before, it's not something I normally do, but it's quite nice to sit down and have a chat and just share my experience with everyone. Cheers! So I decided... How do you get off?